Hi, and welcome to Coach's Corner, where systems matter and both personal and professional learning and development is beneficial for everyone and essential for some. As always, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Let's get started.
I know today we're going to talk about the holistic system.
Correct.
So if you could just touch the bases on what that is, and we'll take a deeper dive.
Sure. So the holistic system, it came about like everything else, by necessity, right?
Yeah.
Because I believe that systems, they quicken things up. It helps you to give a nice level of both quality and quantity together. Mm-hmm. And so it starts with spiritual religion, and then it goes into family, friends, and then health, physical. And we'll probably talk about this at a later time, the order of it. But I used to want to know, should I flip those two? And I'll tell you more about that, I'm sure, later. And then that goes into personal, social, and then finally career material. Got it.
Okay. And so before we take a deeper dive in, spiritual religion, all that, I'm going to ask you some overall questions just about the holistic system.
Sure.
So the first question is, which one has been the toughest for you?
I don't know. I really don't look at life like whether it's tough or it's not. It just has to get done.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
So I think I developed that mentality when I was young. My mom, she didn't play around, neither did my dad. And it was like, just get things done and get things done for people. Excuse me. And so there wasn't something that was tough or not tough, but I think maybe a good way to say it is things took longer.
Okay.
So I used to do, what they count as long division. And so if you imagine a 4 divided into a 4, I used to ask the kids all the time, I'd put that up on the board, and then I would put up 4 divided by 4, and I go 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 forever.
Right.
I did like 24s. I go, which one's more difficult? And they'd always say, of course, the longer one. I said, that's not true. It's not more difficult or tougher, as you said.
Right.
What it is, it's going to take you longer.
Longer, right.
So that's, how I would answer that.
Got it. Okay. Very interesting, and thank you for that analogy, the 4.4444.
Yeah, I used to get a lot of kids on that, and it was funny because when I was teaching 6th, 7th, and 8th graders at the same time, the 8th graders knew what I was doing, so they would always get a nice chuckle out of that.
That's so funny. And so my second question is, so you're a smart guy. I don't know, I think they'll tell over this camera over this video you will as well.
Time out. Here's a few $100, few C notes.
And so, like you said, you went spiritual, religion, family, friends, health, physical, personal, social, career, material.
Yeah.
There was a reason for that. Did you order those because that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of most important, or why did you do that order in specific?
Yeah, I try to start with what makes sense, and to me, what makes sense is if I only had one shot at something, what would I do? I'd rather spend time with Jesus than anybody else.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always play out, right?
Right.
And I think that people like to talk about balance, and let's say especially in these 5 areas.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
Okay.
I believe in harmony. So when you look at, let's say, an orchestra, sometimes the flutes are going off, right? And then sometimes they have to be really low. Sometimes the trumpets are blaring, sometimes the drums, but they're not usually all going all at once. And that's the same thing with us. If we were all going in all 5 of these areas all at once, we would collapse.
Got it.
Now, they may do it, the crescendo, I think. I'm not a music guy, sorry. But I think the crescendo at the end, they may all be up at that high level, and then it falls down. Mm-hmm. And we may have to do that as well. Right. But I think a lot of times it's not like that. So when my mom had a problem a few years back, and she almost died, I was 100% in with her. I didn't care about 10 businesses. Yeah. I didn't care about my wife. I didn't care about my kids. I didn't, I was talking to Jesus, like, help.
Right.
But I just really was focused right there. So maybe I shouldn't say I didn't care about those people, but I focused on my mom, and that was for about a 30-day period.
Wow. Well, first off, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad that she's safe now and doing better.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And so, I asked you what the toughest was, now it was the longest. What is either the easiest or the one that you enjoy the most of the 5?
I don't know. I would probably say I enjoy the Bible.
Okay.
It's very practical to me. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big prayer, mainly because I don't hear anything back. Sorry, Jesus. The lightning bolt, please shoot his direction. But I really get a lot of interaction, believe it or not, with just reading the Bible, because I think, I call a lot of the parables or different things like that touch points.
Yeah.
And I think that you can imagine you're that person and you can kind of get in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy that probably the best out of everything.
Got it. Well, I think this is a good segue into talking about spiritual religion.
Okay.
So,
there you go. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Here,
you.
now give me my money
Yeah,
back.
exactly. So what does spiritual religion look for you?
Well, I think it looks like, it's different for everybody, but for me in particular, it's about the Trinity and Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's the goal.
Yeah.
And I think the end goal, which is always kind of weird for me, seems kind of selfish, and yet that's the opposite of what Jesus is telling us to do, which is, I want to get to heaven, I want to walk the golden streets, I want to do all of those things. But I try to break down any system into two things: what's my goal, and then what are my activities what's my part, so to speak, in being able to get to that goal or those goals.
Okay, got it. And so, you said the Trinity, Jesus Christ, God, Holy Spirit. What if someone's not Christian? Can they still follow the spiritual religious with their different religion?
Absolutely. I mean, this is made for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're young or old. We would modify it if you were younger, and you may bolster it up if you're older, or if you're super ambitious, you would bolster it up, or if you're less, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you my personal preference. You could be an atheist, and this system will still work for you.
Gotcha.
You can, I don't know how many different religions are out there, but I'm sure there's quite a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll work for everybody and anybody.
Oh.
I call it the big E, everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
If you need to contact Brett or Coach, please do so on his social media accounts, email, and/or text. You can find that information in the description below. Again, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Thanks, and we hope you enjoyed.
Good thing it was now.
Remember, everything's a free game. He can get us on everything.
Yeah, everything.
Just don't show my belly, Jesus.